Sinéad O'Connor, an activist and musician from Ireland, passed away at the age of 56. Her relatives broke the news, saying, "Her family and friends are devastated, with great sadness. It is unknown what caused the death." She gained international recognition for her 1990 hit, "Nothing Compares to You," which peaked at #1 and became her most well-known song. Leo Varadkar, the Taoiseach, Irish PM, stated that her brilliance was unsurpassed and that her music was loved around the world. Michael D. Higgins, the President of Ireland, hailed O'Connor for her authenticity and beautiful, distinctive voice. One of Ireland's greatest and most talented composers, songwriters, and performers of recent decades, who had a special talent and extraordinary connection with her audience, all of whom held such love and warmth for her, is what Ireland has lost at such a relatively young age, he said. The singer had a challenging upbringing. She was born Sinead Marie Bernadette O'Connor in December 1966 in Glenageary, County Dublin. She spent her adolescent years in Dublin's Griannan Training Centre, which was formerly one of the notorious Magdalen laundries and was built to house young girls who were believed to be promiscuous. O'Connor's musical career began when a nun purchased her a guitar and connected her with a music teacher. In 1987, she published The Lion and the Cobra, her debut album that received accolades and peaked at number 40 in both the UK and the US. I Do Not Want What I Haven't Got, her follow-up album, featured Nothing Compares to You. The song, which was composed by Prince, peaked at number 1 in several countries, including the US and the UK. Between 1987 and 2014, O'Connor, who was outspoken about her social and political opinions, released 10 studio albums. She won the Brit Award for International Female Solo Artist in 1991 and was chosen Artist of the Year by Rolling Stone magazine. The following year, she appeared as an invited artist on the U.S. television program Saturday Night Live, where she tore up a photo of Pope John Paul II in one of the most noteworthy performances of her career. After singing Bob Marley's "War" a cappella, she glared at the camera and uttered the phrase, "Fight the real enemy," in opposition to child sex abuse in the Catholic Church. Her activities led to protests against her in the U.S., when copies of her records were destroyed in Times Square, and a lifetime ban from NBC broadcasting. "I don't regret doing it." In a 2021 interview with the New York Times, she praised it as brilliant. "I'm not bossy, I'm the boss." O'Connor's most recent studio album was published in 2014. The Dublin singer changed her name to Shuhada Sadaqat after converting to Islam in 2018, but she kept her stage name. In 2021, she published a memoir titled Rememberings. Her 17-year-old son Shane was reported missing 2 days before his death, which was discovered in January 2022. After his passing, she wrote on social media that he had decided to end his earthly struggle, and asked that no one follows his example. Due to her continuing grief at the loss of her son, the singer subsequently cancelled all live appearances for the remainder of 2022. In one of her last tweets, O'Connor paid tribute to Shane, referring to him as the love of my life, the lamp of my soul. We were one soul in two halves. One of the final individuals to talk with O'Connor before her passing was Belfast filmmaker Catherine Ferguson, who described herself as devastated by the information. Nothing Compares, a documentary about O'Connor that Ferguson had been working on, is scheduled for release this Saturday. "Our movie was essentially a love letter to Sinead, at least for me. It was created over a very long period of time," she told Front Row on BBC Radio 4. "She is one of our most avant-garde and amazing musicians. And having her was a huge blessing for us." O'Connor was described as having a astounding presence, and a voice that cracked stone with force by increment, by singer Alison Moyet. "As attractive as any girl in the area and never traded on that card. I admired her for that." Iconoclast. Regarding her passing, Irish comedian Dara O'Brien said, "That's just extremely sad news. Stupid thing. I hope she understood how much we loved her." According to Charlatans musician Tim Burgess, Sinead was the true embodiment of a punk spirit. She refused to make any concessions, which made her life more difficult. O'Connor's passing was deemed heartbreaking by Irish author Marian Keyes. How she endured pain. Sinead is very miserable. You brave, lovely, amazing, and singular wonder, rest in peace. Caitlin Moran, a journalist, wrote online, "She was fearless and decades ahead of her time. Queen, rest in power." Mark Cousins, an Irish director, continued, "Sinead O'Connor represented our Irish wild side. A significant portion of our imagined life." Brian Adams, a singer who had worked with O'Connor, wrote, "Rip Sinead O'Connor. I loved working with you, making photos, doing gigs in Ireland together and chats. All my love to your family." Conor McGregor, an Irish mixed martial artist, tweeted, "Ireland has lost a legendary voice and one of our absolute finest, by a long way." O'Connor once sang into the ring during a UFC bout in Las Vegas. Additionally, "I lost a friend." Sinead O'Connor was the best singer ever. No one. Every note she played shouted with pure emotion. She transformed Prince's sweet, "Nothing Compares to You," into an incredibly painful and heartbreaking wail. She was bedfellows with such feelings. She had a difficult upbringing. When she was 8 years old, her parents had divorced, and in 1985, her mother, whom she subsequently claimed had abused, died in a vehicle accident. She was detained at a Magdalen asylum as a teenager after being caught shoplifting. She later described the facility as a prison, where girls cried every day. Her music reflects all of those traumatic experiences as well as those still to come. "I Am Stretched on Your Grave," from her second album, is